Greetings. Greetings, everyone. I am back. I'm here to share again. Be inspired to do for yourself what you would do for someone else. Yeah. Be inspired to do for yourself what you would do for someone else. I hope you are well. I'm here today with you. My name is Odessa. I am a women's wellness mentor, and I help women with abnormal cycles, fibroids, infertility, increase their energy and vitality using natural remedies, natural therapies to increase their vitality in a way that helps them to overcome their issues, reduce their symptoms, sometimes eliminate them, but live life in a healthier way. And I wanted to come on here today to talk to you a little bit about why you can't heal a body you hate. You know, there are a lot of us, a lot of people walking around with a chip on their shoulder based off of the conditions that they have been born into, conditions that they, good morning, greetings everyone. Yes, I haven't seen you in a while. You know, they're living with experiences and conditions that they hate within their physical body, right? And wanting to change the circumstances, but holding on to these negative experiences that you have with yourself, it doesn't work together. So a lot of times when I think about this issue, I always come back to culture and society, the way that women are viewed today. It's confusing. It's extremely confusing. You know, take for example something as natural as breastfeeding. You know, the breasts are, you know, used for pleasure, you know, while you're with your partners or with yourself. I don't know what you do, but when you have a baby, you know, the breasts become a form of feeding. Right? This is it for you this morning. All right, sis. Well, let's go. We're buckling down, right? And so, you know, when you become a mother or after you've had a child, your breasts become a form of nourishment. And think about it. In society and in the world, women are able to go out and, you know, dress very revealing. Example on Instagram, you know, you get more likes if you show ass, right? Your likes, your views, the algorithm will present your image to more people in your audience if you show more ass. But if you're breastfeeding, right, you know, you're showing your breasts in the public, it's okay. But if you're breastfeeding, you aren't allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that because it makes people uncomfortable. And I mean, not allowed to do that, right? A lot of women are fighting back or standing up, you know, and giving themselves the right to, you know, feed their babies and be okay with their bodies and the function of their bodies. Think about your clothes, you know, like you go into the stores to buy clothes, and it, like, I have two daughters, and I remember going to the store to buy clothes for my daughters, and everything was short shorts and tights for children and short skirts, right? Like, I don't dress my children in that fashion. You know what I mean? So it's like you want to instill a sense of pride in yourself, and you want to give yourself the freedom to express yourself in the way that you want, but the way that we're perceived, because if you dress like this all of the time and something happens to you, you're considered, you know what I mean? People might say, well, you called this to yourself, you know what I mean? When you look at religion, and how women are viewed in religion. I just did a live the other day and I was talking about this. It's confusing depending on the direction that you go. For example, you know, Christianity and Islam are more patriarchal religions. Give thanks for the love. Whereas Judaism is a matriarchal religion. So if you look at how Judaism views their women, I once worked with a Jewish family. I was their doula, and I was doing a follow-up and having a conversation with dad, and mom, but dad. They had just had their baby, and they were Orthodox. They were Orthodox, and he was talking to me about certain prayers that they had to do, and he said, like, women don't have to do those prayers. I was like, what do you mean they don't have to? And he's like, they're just superpowers. They can choose to do it or not. A woman is a superpower. She's the center. So this is one view of how religion looks at women. Whereas if you're looking in something like Christianity and you go through the books, it's like, women have a very mediocre or menial role, except for the one or two. And I remember listening to a radio, in French you say émission, a radio program. And there was a woman very high up in the English church, and she said the mystery of religion has been, removed ever since women and the feminine energy has been taken out of religion, spirituality, and the church. So this is really something like, what kind of experience are women having? Then we have the whole issue of blood. Oh my goodness, right? Like, when you look at it from a religious perspective, oftentimes it's a taboo conversation. You cannot speak about it. So women who are struggling, right? You can't leave the house without having extra sanitary napkins. You can't leave the house without knowing that you have extra clothes to change. You can't go anywhere without knowing that you have access to the bathroom. You know where you can leave to get out quickly, you know what I mean? Or you can't leave the house because you just don't feel comfortable and confident. And kind of bringing it back to that point about religion, it's like, there was a woman who did an experiment. I was watching, and she decided to take everything verbatim in the Bible. She took everything verbatim in the Bible and did what women were expected to do. I know another group of women who do this as well too. And so it's like, when you're menstruating, you're walking with a sheet because you have to sit down, and you're not supposed to sit down. So everybody knows, right? And you're sitting on top. It's a very peculiar way of experiencing life. And why do I say this, and why do I talk about it? Because it is confusing. It is confusing for women, for us to be able to love ourselves through the suppression, through the oppression, through the confusion, right? Of, okay, well, how do I express myself, right? Then we've got the other aspect of women who want to be more out there in the world, to get more done, to be seen, and to, have rank. And you've got, well, you're a woman, you should be at home. You know what I mean? Like the standards that, you should have, or you just have to work harder. These are just like the basics. This is like, the over arching themes, with like layers. Think of it like a rainbow. You got red and blue and orange and green. Like, that's how it presents it to me, right? As to how, we start off not liking ourselves, but then you've got the experience once again when we come back to women who are suffering, because my focus is women who are suffering with abnormal cycles, irregular bleeding, clots, repeat miscarriages, like ridiculous mood swings, bloating, constipation, low libido, acne, extreme discharge, infections, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be in your body when that time of the month comes around. I remember like just bracing myself, like, oh my God, it's coming. You know what I mean? And you've got 7 days. That was me. I had the full 7 days, and just kind of like just not feeling good, not wanting to be around people, not wanting to do things, not wanting to go anywhere. I'm getting some love because you all know, you know what I mean? You are not alone, and so you just have this experience of hating yourself, you know what I mean? Whether you say it or not, there's an aspect of yourself you just kind of, you feel icky, you don't want to be, you don't want to be there. And, you can't heal a body you hate. You can't heal a body you don't love. Oftentimes, we just want to have that freedom from our cycle. We want to have the freedom from pain. We want to have the freedom from soaking through, in less than 2 hours, in less than an hour. That is not normal. Okay, you should not be having to change your sanitary napkins in more than once every hour, more than once every 2 hours. It's really not easy when the quarantine don't make things easier, sis. It's hard. I get it. It's hard. I was thinking though that if you are home though, it would be easier. But if you're leaving the house to work during quarantine, yeah, it makes everything a lot more difficult, right? So, like, I know for a fact when I speak to women, they tell me like they want to not experience apprehension when leaving the house. They want to not experience an infection right before their cycle comes, or right after they've made love, or after eating a little bit of sugar eating. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want to, bleed for more than 7 days. They want their experience of, mid ovulation to not be painful. There are so many reasons, why we go through what we go through. But for the most part, the women that I am experiencing, conversations with are telling me that they want to, have a more peaceful experience and balance, exactly, hormonal balance. But it gives you a level of peace of mind. You know what I mean? It gives you a level of freedom to be able to get up and go. You know what I mean? Like male counterparts who don't have any issues, or counterparts who don't menstruate, due to whatever reason. So the role that I play, that I play in this, is to act as a support, to act as that beacon and that guide, to help you, because I've been there. You know what I mean? Like, you're with your partner and you're making love and it's painful, or, you're waking up in the middle of the night and, you've bled through your clothes onto your bed, and you just don't feel good about your physical body. So some of the reasons why we are experiencing the discomforts that we're feeling, I always kind of start off with the overarching theme, is primarily because, for me, the teachings have been suppressed, right? How to heal women, how to care for women, how to honor women, how to, raise women up in a way that empowers them and makes them understand the sanctity and sacredness of their bodies and what they represent. This is missing, right? That's the first thing that's missing, because women don't know what to do. They go to the hospital, they go to doctors who, in the last 200 years, it's only 200 years really, that doctors have become the primary caregivers for women. Obstetrics and gynecology is new. Before then, it was midwives and herbalists and healers, right? It was when the doctors decided, well, I'm going to go in and, we need to find a new way of, or a new genre, right? That's what it was, because they took away midwifery from women. You weren't allowed to perform it. And so the men started coming in. And so when they started going into the hospitals and school and learning, then they decided, okay, well, let's go in there. We can start going in there because everything else is oversaturated. And so they began to medicalize pregnancy. They began to medicalize labor and birth. And so this is how we end up with all of these interventions, right? Because yes, things can get scary, and we're very, very happy to have the trauma and crises specialists there for us. But birth has been happening like millions of years before the first doctor graduated from university, right? Women want to experience more calmness and serenity in their bodies, but you're taking long-term medication, right? I have here, anyone watching this Taking Appointment with Odessa, I still listen to her advice and it has helped. You're so sweet and so kind. Thank you so much. If you have been taking medication for a long period of time, you have to please keep in mind that medication is synthetic. First of all, Medication is synthetic. And when it comes into your system, it will suppress the issue that you're experiencing, right? It doesn't cure. Medication does not cure. It does suppress. In some cases, you can get some, results that will stop the issue. But what happens is there is residual debris from the medication that's left in your body. It goes through the liver, it processes through the liver, it processes through the other organs in the body, and it stays there and it gets stuck. You know how many women who come to me and tell me that they're taking naproxen like every single day, multiple times a day? Their blood panels come back and their doctors are concerned because the liver is out of whack, right? So if your liver is not working properly, first of all, in Chinese medicine, your liver is known to move qi. So if your liver is not moving your qi, you get what? Stagnation. And stagnation equals what? Clots, right? Heavy bleeding. You know what I mean? If, your spleen is not working properly in Chinese medicine, we say the spleen raises the energy up, right? And it protects the blood vessels. It keeps them taut. It keeps them, like holding the blood in and moving, right? So it holds the qi up and it holds the blood inside of the vessels. If your spleen is overtaxed because you've got too much dampness in your body, you've got too much sugar in your body, then you're affecting the spleen and you can, experience more of a prolapse, right? So your organs are lower than they should be, right? If, you're burning the candle at both ends, you know what I mean? And not taking care of your health. I've got to get up, I've got to work, I've got to go, I have to go to the grocery store, I have to go to this event, I have to come back here, I have these phone calls that I have to make this food. If you have children, it's even more. And then you have a husband, and then you're going to bed late, and then you're waking up early, and then you've got all these pains, and you might sleep early. You know what I mean? When you put all of this together, you're burning both candles at the end. This is not going to help you with your experience either. And then you're stuck in the middle because you're not taking care of yourself, but you feel like you still have to go. And so what happens? You're right there in the middle and you don't like what's happening to you, right? High stress jobs, not changing your beliefs. This is another thing, right? We're talking about why you can't heal a body you hate. And we are revealing the different reasons, the different experiences that you're having that bring you to this point. What are your beliefs about yourself? Child, sis, friend. I started off discussing, right, what we think about ourselves. You know what I mean? So we also have stress. We have stress from the world around us, from peers, from family, from work, from culture, from politicians. You know what I mean? I'm too fat. I'm too thin. My skin is too dry. My hair is too coarse. You know what I mean? My breasts are too small. My bum is too flat. My thighs are too big. My teeth don't shine bright enough. Please tell me all of the reasons why you can't like yourself, right? And if these beliefs are what you're harboring, and then you're working towards, or you want to work towards healing and experiencing something more, there's a disconnect. If you believe that you have to maintain a high stressful experience to be successful and achieve goals, then this is a belief that I would highly suggest you look at changing. If you believe that, the only way for you to experience any kind of freedom is to self-sacrifice, then this belief is causing you pain and discomfort. We really have to go into these subjects and look at them, really take them apart and look at them, because they exist, they live in our bodies, they live in our cells. Okay, I tell everybody, and I repeat it over and over again, I look at the individual, I look at the person from a multi-dimensional experience. It took me so long to say this, multi-dimensional. I've been doing this work for 20 years, almost 20 years. And I know that not everyone is into, spirit and metaphysics and esotericism and all these things. But it's the truth. We are more than just the physical body, your emotions, your mental, your spiritual, your karmic, your solaric, your monadic, your cosmic. It's just, we are so much more. And if you are not able to connect to something deeper than what you can see, right? And you are not able to go into your thoughts and identify when the pattern is triggered, right? Because that's another thing, I like to call it the glitch. Oftentimes, you're kind of you're going, you have an issue, you have a problem, and you tell yourself that you're going to be fixing the problem, you're going to be changing your thoughts, and then something happens, and all of a sudden you're triggered, and you don't know what happened, and you're at the end, and you're breathing, you're hot, you're heavy, you're whatever it is. It's the glitch, right? It's the glitch that triggered. It's this belief that you are maintaining about yourself, that is controlling the experience of whatever you're going through. Please give me 1 second. So changing your beliefs around this, who am I versus who I want to become? This is where we are right now, because you can't heal a body you hate, right? Anytime you say something to yourself, anytime you say something outside in the world, you've said it twice. You've thought it, you may have said it to yourself, and then you say it out loud. At least you say it twice. So you say it to yourself, then you say it out loud. And then imagine you're repeating it to other people. And so words have power. Words have, especially, when we look at the English language, we spell. Okay, this is not a joke. Spell. We're spelling, right? That's what we do. They say English is a language of two tongues, right? Because there are so many different ways to interpret your words. We spell. Grammar is part of grimoire. The book of grimoire is a book of spells. Okay, so this is not me. You can go and look this up. Etymology of words, history of words, all these things. So if you know, and if you understand the power of words, if you understand the power of thought and your beliefs, right, you would know and understand that if you are resonating at a low vibration in your thoughts, right, you are going to manifest this in your physical body in different ways, and you're going to attract it to you in your life via the experiences of other people, right, and other things coming to you to reinforce what it is that you're thinking. So this is, this is how we're walking along. We're talking about why women are experiencing the discomforts that they're feeling. Some of the other reasons are because you're eating junk food, right? If you know that when you eat these particular kinds of foods, you feel away, you don't feel good afterwards, you have a headache, your belly's hurting you, you're constipated, but you like the food, and so you continue to go back. And this is a form of self-hate. I'm sorry to say, but it's true. It is a form of self-hate. It's a form of not valuing yourself. Like, we can put it on a grade, you can put it on a scale, however you want. But if you know that by doing this particular thing, you put yourself in detriment, you put yourself in a, what's the word? Like not a subtraction. I think you guys understand what I mean, right? So toxic habits, not eating good food, not replenishing your body, especially right after trauma, bad habits, taking medication for a long time, self-denial, you know what I mean? Like, you're not giving yourself permission to do something because you don't think that you can. All of these things contribute to how you experience your body. And I'll tell you, I had a client once who told me, who was having an issue with her cycle, and she says, every time I go to the bathroom, that's the only time the blood comes out. So I can be bleeding from day 1 to 5, but it won't be on my pad, but when I go to the bathroom, it will come out. And I sat and I thought to her, because your emotions are very much connected to the womb, to the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra, let me do a quick 101. Our nerves come together, and anytime nerves come together, there is an electrical impulse. When there's a group of nerves that come together, it's called a plexus. So we have a solar plexus, we have a coracoid plexus, we have, we've got plexuses all over. We have the brachial plexus, we have a sacral plexus, we have a coccygeal plexus. So anybody who knows anything about medicine, who knows anything about biology, who knows anything about science, I know that you understand that. Okay, now we move forward with the meta understanding of that. Anytime these energies come together, anytime the nerves come together, it is an energy exchange. And when you have a group of nerves come together, it is an energy center. So we have 7 major energy centers, starting with the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacrum, and the coccyx area, the root. These are the 7 main ones. And the sacral, each one resonates with an organ, it resonates with a color, a season, a number, a planet, a food. It's a beautiful thing. An emotion, a thought, right? A spiritual principle, everything. The sacral chakra, which is located below the navel, it's called the hara in men. Women, it's our womb. This area resonates with the color orange. It resonates with your emotions, and it resonates with your creativity, okay? So all of that to say, if you are experiencing, difficult emotions, right, this will affect your hormones, your endocrine system. Your endocrine system is responsible for your emotional well-being, and it will affect how your menstrual cycle shows up. And I asked her, I said, so what is your emotional life like? And this woman told me, she says, I hold everything in. I hold it in. I get angry and I hold it in. And then when I blow up and I let it all out. And I said, so do you see the connection between how your cycle is presenting itself and how you emotionally present yourself to the world? Everything is connected, right? So the counterintuitive thing that you need to start doing is embracing your cycle, embracing your body, embracing your experience, your existence, claiming your authority as a feminine being, as a being with feminine parts, with female parts, because everyone expresses themselves differently, and not everyone affiliates or associates as a woman or as, a female. But by embracing this is the first thing, because think about it, when you're cold, right, you normally start to tense up. And when you tense up, you actually get more cold, right? You think that you're trying to keep warm, but you actually get more cold. When you relax into the discomfort moves through you quicker, right? It moves through you quickly, and you're able to settle into it quickly. And oftentimes in society, period, right? And then period, right? But in society in general, what happens is, we experience hard times, we experience mental stress, we experience death, we experience, whatever it is that we're experiencing, and we guard ourselves, you know what I mean? And you have to, you feel as though you have to protect yourself, and you can't let anybody in, and you're so distraught, That's not what's going to help you. That's not the lesson at all. The lesson of illness, the lesson of pain, the lesson of discomfort is to show you that you need to expand who you are. You are not enough. That's what the lesson of pain, illness, and discomfort are about. These are soul lessons. All of us come in with a particular path, with a particular journey, with a particular mandate. And because of that, it means that the experiences that you have are contributing to the final destination that you are to reach as a being, as a soul. And so pain is one way through it. Discomfort is one way through it. And it's very important to not skew that. So by embracing the difficulty and asking yourself, what is the lesson here? I know whenever I say that, people are like, listen, how can there be a lesson in my trauma? How can there be a lesson in my pain? That's the rule. These are the rules of life, of the universe. What goes up comes down. What goes out comes back, right? What you give, you get. Love, light, karma, all these things. These are universal laws. And when we break down the universal laws, I think there's at least seven universal laws, or maybe 13. But when you break them down, these are the tenets that come, these are the details that come with that. And so part of the whole process for women who are suffering with abnormal cycles, abnormal bleeding, repeat miscarriages, unable to live life without anxiety, stress, and apprehension, you have to start by learning to embrace, to not brace yourself for that. So what does that mean? Get quiet, right? And truthful. Start massaging your belly. Start talking kindly to your womb. I've had clients tell me, now that we're in COVID, I'm not seeing anybody in person, but I've had clients over the years tell me, as I massage their womb, I've never been touched so lovingly on my belly before. And it's like, you're how many years old, and how many experiences, and you have not loved on yourself. You know what I mean? So massage your breasts and tell your breasts you love them. Massage your womb and tell your womb you love her. Massage between your legs, like massage, like give yourself love. Think of how you feel when somebody comes up to you and rubs your back. Just if you're having a bad day and it just does something to you. Touch is so therapeutic. Give yourself that. Look at your thoughts, right? And it's hard. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. This is hard work, because you're changing matter, you're changing cycles, you're changing ingrained habits, and the brain doesn't like change. The brain is like, what do you think you're doing? You want to think differently? No, sis, we're not doing that. We've decided that you're afraid. We've decided that you're stressed, and so that's what we're going to do. So you've got to work on changing your mindset around this. You've got to look at learning how to embrace your femininity in the midst of the hormonal imbalance, in the midst of the pain and discomfort, right? You have got to, start cleansing your body in and out. I have a lot of people tell me, yeah, I'm taking these vitamins and that vitamins. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's good. Did you clean out your body? You know what I mean? Did you clean out your body? Did you cleanse your body? Did you cleanse out the in and out? Because oftentimes, especially if you've been taking a lot of medication, especially if you have been eating badly, right? Especially if you're in an unhealthy environment, especially if you've got terrible thoughts. Listen, you cleanse your body, it affects your physical body, and you also cleanse your mind and your spirit at the same time. This is very, very profound stuff. And I know that oftentimes, this is why I'm different. Because oftentimes you will go to the doctor, you'll go to the naturopath, you'll go to the therapist, and they'll tell you some things like, take these pills, take this, which is okay, but they're not going to go into the details and explain to you the meta understanding of what's happening, why you should be doing these things, and why these extra added on things are important. You have to cleanse, sis. You got to do a womb cleanse. You have to learn to embrace your body. You have to learn how to love your body, even in the throes of despair. That's where it comes from, okay? Because you cannot heal a body you hate. You cannot. So embrace what you don't know. This is my message for you all today, and I wanted to let you know that doors are now open for enrollment for my program called Womb Wisdom for Hormonal Health. This is a 7-week immersion into the mysteries of the womb, the traditional healing techniques of the womb, a hybrid experience of group and one-to-one coaching. We walk through 3 phases of assessing where you are, and then cleansing where you are, and then implementing the right kinds of tools and, equipping you with lifelong womb wisdom, right? So you can go forth and cultivate your own womb wellness, your own reproductive wellness. I am so excited about this program. Doors have opened yesterday, and I already have a couple of people who have enrolled. I'm taking a very small group of women this round, and I would love it if you would join me. So please go to the link in my bio and read my application, sign up for a discovery call, a next step call, and let's see if you are a fit for this program. We start November 22nd. And I'm just really stoked. I'm really, really excited to be offering this to you all. And if it's not for you, please, please share with someone who you think could use the message in this live that I did, or someone who you think would be interested in joining this program that is beginning next month. And let me just say, I know a lot of people are like, but it's COVID, and I'm no. And I'm like, you know what? This is the perfect time, especially if you're at home. This is the perfect time to do the cleanse, to do the shifting, to do the changing, to do the hard work, right? Because it gives you a little bit more of an incubating environment, you know? So that's it. That is my love for you all today. I wanted to share that with you, and I hope that you got something wonderful from it. Please, please make sure and comment below. Let me know, what you found most valuable in this video, and share with someone you think can use it. Y'all take care now. Bye.